Hey guys, what's up? So today we've got the second to last bus rides video. You guys all voted for 24, and what I'm going to do with this video is we're going to combine 41 and 24 because essentially I had both of those buses on the same route. So basically third grade started and I was supposed to be on 24. But we had 41 for a good 3 or 4 months because bus 24 was in an accident where it rear-ended one of our AmTran REs we had. No, it was not 66. So basically what happened was the driver had taken some cough syrup or whatever and had fallen asleep behind the wheel. So she rear-ended the transit that was in front of her, and I believe this was at our high school, and it pushed the body forward on the chassis. It was that hard of a strike. Now 24 had its front end messed up, so basically it had to get a new hood, new front bumper, new everything pretty much on the front. I'm not sure if the engine was affected or not. I doubt it, or else they probably wouldn't have put it back in service. So that took a few months. But as for 41, memory-wise, nothing too notable. The one thing that was constant with 41 and 24 was that each morning when we would park in the elementary school parking lot, I'd get up and stand next to the door and talk to the driver, and he would let me, especially in the afternoons, open and close 41's door, and he also did that with 24. So that was also always pretty cool. 41, really, I liked the bus at the time. I didn't have any problem with the seats or anything like that. The only thing that I didn't care for was the emergency buzzer and the that the air brakes made when you pulled the parking brake. It's very distinctive. If you've been on an older International with the older style air brakes, it's loud and obnoxious, which now looking back, it didn't bother me, but I got to the point, especially with riding 36, where I just was so used to it when I was on a bus that didn't have it. I was like, wait, why is that so quiet? But anyways, back to 41. So it had a green interior. It was a 72 passenger bus, T444E, obviously low headroom, wasn't no high headroom, Bluebird, one roof hatch. I'm not going to try to quote its Laidlaw asset number because I don't remember it off the top of my head, but at this point I will put it in on the screen so you can see it. Which, interesting thing, our Bluebirds were never technically owned by Laidlaw, but Laidlaw felt the need to give all of our board-owned buses asset numbers. So 3, which is right next to me right now, got an asset number. Our Wayne's got an asset number. The little microbird that Peter found, it got an asset number. Basically, it got an asset number. I'll put it up on the screen right now if I haven't already. And, yeah, so other than that, I do remember we had emergency evacuations my 3rd grade year with 41, and I did not like that buzzer at all. Now, if you know Bluebirds, they have their dome lights on the center of the roof and not on the side like AmTrans and most everything else. So, they were up top. I always kind of liked seeing the dome lights on the top of the roof for some reason. And they obviously had the little bird logo. And back to the emergency evacuations. Anyways, I hated that buzzer so much. It really scared me as a little child. And now it doesn't really bother me like it did, but now I hate the AmTran buzzer more than I hate the Bluebird buzzer. But anyways, yeah, so we did emergency evacuations. We, sat and scoot out the back of the bus. So, yeah. And then once 24 was fixed, that morning my driver backed it into a ditch. Literally the morning we got it back, he backed it into a ditch. So, yeah, that made him late to pick me up, so that was cool. But 24, I mean, the bus was filled with good memories. I absolutely loved that bus. I was really upset when I wasn't able to get it, when they sold it. I would absolutely love to find it and buy it now, but I don't think that's going to be likely. They also had emergency evacuations on 24, and guess what? I had my dad take me to school that day. So anyways, 24, I sat in seat 1, same thing with 41. I do have a few memories on 24 of seeing other buses. I remember at one point we were on our route and we were turning a corner, and an AmTran RE was going the other way, and it had an oddly faded side door, and I believe that was 77 because 77 had a really badly faded side door. So that's something I remember. Other than that, I always remember the way our elementary school's parking lot used to be designed. They've changed it now. Is you had a center aisle, and you could get 2 rows of buses on each side. And to get on the other side, you had this hump you had to go over. And I don't know, I don't think I hated it. I always thought it was weird because you would do this and the bus would turn and it would lean over a bit. And I was always so scared of being in a rollover when I was little. So that was always my thing, like I was afraid of. And the exit of our elementary school used to have the worst drop-off for the back tires when they would pull out. The back of the bus would would slam down, and it would always scare the crap out of me. I remember at one point I got my bus driver a little yellow Scion XB wind-up toy car, and I wrote school bus on the side of it and put the number 24 on it and gave it to him. I'm sure I drew him multiple pictures of 24. Now 24 and its sisters all had fender-mounted signals, and eventually they took them off, which is stupid because I like fender-mounted signals on a 3800. But anyways, other than that, there wasn't really much else that I can think of that was too spectacular. I know later on I would ride 41 as a spare a few times. At the end of my sophomore year, because we had 97 then, 97 was being used for trips at that point. So they took 97 from us, and they gave us 41 for the last 2 weeks of school. So I actually have a picture of 41 where it's 41, and then down below you have the awkward magnet of 97, so it's like 4197, and I made a joke about it at the time. But anyways, which 24 I had ridden twice as a spare. It was either the end of my I believe it was the end of my freshman year. We had 24 as a spare, and I remember being so excited because I hadn't ridden on that bus since elementary school, and I always loved 24. Before 50 was my favorite bus, that kind of bus, 24 was my favorite bus. I absolutely love AmTran 3800s, with high headroom, of course, and the school bus charter signs. And then I rode it once my senior year, which I'm very happy I got to do that before it was sold. Which there were a few buses I got to ride my senior year before they were sold, so I'm very happy about that. But other than that, there's not much else to say. I will include some photos and or videos if I have them of the buses right here.
Oh, had to turn around. Here comes one of the AmTrans. 24, I rode that bus. 24. '85. A nice bus. The bus is spitting.
So I don't actually have any videos of 41, but I do have some photos, so here's 2 photos of it so you can see what it looks like. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next one is 36, which I will be doing pretty soon here. I know it's been a while. It took me a while to get this one up, but it's just been so darn hot. And I don't know if you can hear it, but it's currently raining outside. So that means it's actually cool inside the buses, so I'm able to be here and not die. So thanks for watching, guys.